Howdy toddy everybody, this is Tommy with Colonel Reb Scale Models coming at you with a final reveal of the Tiger Models Cute Plane P40 Warhawk. So this is the plane that I did the buddy build with Papa Dan over at Hobby Time with Papa Dan. And this is an example of one of the possible kits that you can buy to join our Ming War Tunes that has the planes, the ships, the tanks, and also obviously the Tiger model planes here. Papa Dan has shown you a lot of the kits that he has in his stash. I have not obviously that many, but I have several, and I'll do a different video or maybe attach it to the end of this video after pictures discussing that more, maybe showing kits, I'm not sure. Anyways, let's talk about this one. This is the P40 Warhawk. That's a Flying Tigers series, as you can tell by the Chinese roundels that they used as part of the American Volunteer Group that operated only up until July the 4th until 42, and then it was absorbed by the United States Army Air Force, or Air Corps at the time. This kit's really good. They're kind of like a super deformed Gundam in how they're kind of a comical look or a take on some of these planes. A little bit different than the egg builds that we just all were building in the egg build group build that Daniel and Charlie hosted. Same obviously plane. This is a P40. I believe this is a M version based on the little bitty air intake that's right there that you'll see that has the little dotted frame. But as you can see, this one's a little bit more detailed than an egg plane. It doesn't look like an egg, first of all. It actually just looks like a cute little plane that's kind of super deformed, I guess. The decals are about the same actually when it comes to trying to get it fitted around the mouth. They laid down about the same. I probably spent as much time on these as I did on the ones on the egg plane. There are some decals on the propeller, and this red line was a little bit of a challenge. It's probably the hardest part other than the mouth, obviously. The mouth was only 2 pieces, whereas in the egg it's 3. So it was a little bit easier. And the shape is not as pronounced. It's more of almost like they've made it almost like a U shape as opposed to the total round shape on the egg. But it was still difficult. As you can tell, it didn't go all the way to the front. So it was still challenging. The rest of them went on fine. With this one with the red, it didn't fit, and I'll pick it up in just a second to show you. It didn't fit. So right there, if I can get it in the camera, what I did where the gray color demarcation line is, I cut the decal and then just flipped it over into two, had the 2 pieces on each end, and I just reversed them, and then it kind of, if you can tell, it kind of comes down and it kind of angles back. But it worked, and then I think there was a little bit of a gap which I just touched up with some red paint. This one I did do some panel lining. I used a tip that I got from Kenny May over at Moonwalker Models to use a mechanical pencil as opposed to using the Tamiya panel liner, which actually I wound up doing a combination of both. I tried it out on one side, and the graphite, because I was using a 0.5 millimeter mechanical pencil, it wouldn't fit all the way in the grooves. So when I went back, I could actually take a little bit of water and kind of push the graphite into the panel lines. But I went back eventually, and I did panel line with a paintbrush, not the brush that comes with the thing. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had the wife and daughter came in from a walk. So anyway, so let me get her turned back on. So had that issue, just that small issue with the stripe. Everything else was fine. Like I said, I was doing the panel lining. I did Tamiya also with a pencil with, I think, a number 10/0 brush. and it actually seemed to flow better on the side that had the graphite already there. I guess because graphite is slick, but it, it's kind of like a powder, so it kind of rubs around. So then I just took some of the brown, dark brown Tamiya panel liner. I didn't use the black. I used the dark brown, and I kind of went down the lines on the roundels. Now, all around the model where the decals are, if there was a panel line under it, then I used a new number 11 blade and just sliced through it. And then when I put the micro saw on, it helped kind of make it kind of turn down into the panel line. I've seen other modelers do this, but I just was reminded of doing that watching a recent video with Joe of Joe K Models, where he was doing it on, I think it was his seaplane, and I thought, oh, I need to try to do that, and it worked out pretty well. They kind of got dirtied up, so I just went ahead and kind of dirtied up just a little bit around the rest of the plane, not too much. I still can go back and do some dusting on the tires and underneath, because they were in a kind of a dusty kind of environment over there in China, and they were basically landing on runways that was made out of broken up rock and dirt by the people there. But other than that, it went together fine. I showed you the paints that I used to do the camo with the silly putty, and then on this one I did use a new product, well, trying out, me and Papa Dan, Winsor & Newton. This is a liquid mask that you're supposed to use on paper. So I tried it out on this canopy. It worked okay. I'm not quite sold on it yet, just because it actually does dry clear. So once you do the outer edge, once you get the edging done, then you kind of fill in the middle, but then the edge will dry clear. So you got to make sure that you get all the way into all the crevices, all the way around the piece of glass that you're doing before you fill in the inside, so you don't miss anything. So it comes off easy, and then you can take a toothpick, just a regular end of a toothpick, and just kind of push it off. Now, some that kind of bled through, I guess maybe the mask was thinner. I still was able to push, even though it was this is enamel from a rattle can. I was still able to kind of push, eventually work it off to where you could get it off. It's not perfect by any means, but I think I did better using that than also trying to, in this case, trying to brush paint it like I did with the Zero, because the frame on this glass is raised. So this one actually was easier, probably would be easier maybe to use either masking and cutting with the blade, or this actual liquid mask. But overall, I'm very happy with it. I think it came out really, really good. It has some good details. The flaps actually move. And then on this one, you can make the propeller spin, like you can on the eggplane also, if you're careful. And then the wheels can roll. So obviously, you can glue those as well if you don't want it rolling. And then I did take a really, really small drill bit and drill out the gun barrels. But other than that, everything is box stock. It's all just about painting, and it goes together really quickly. Like I said, what seams you see, I didn't touch any seams, which you can still see some, but it pushes together that good. There's no real big gaps or anything. So the only thing I don't like about it is just the canopy that has these 4 prongs that go down it, and it kind of breaks up. You can kind of see them from the outside. But other than that, I think it's a really good kit. And I hope that a lot of y'all looking at these and what you can do with them. By means, I'm barely above a beginner. Definitely still in the novice stage of building. I challenge some of the better plane builders out there to jump in on our group build. And I may do a different video talking just about the group build. Maybe call out some folks. But the kits, they're available. And they're usually run about just under 20. Some are a little bit more than 20, and they do have some that are close to 30, depending on how big. It's more the ships that are the more expensive ones, but this kind of plane is around 19 to 20 bucks, and plus the tanks and stuff. So anyway, so that's my final reveal on the Tiger Models Cute Plane Series P40 Warhawk Flying Tiger. Hope everybody likes it, and I hope everybody's staying safe, having a good weekend about to start up, and you know, we relaxed a little bit today with some of our businesses, and we're supposed to go to a state park and do a little trail walking tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But when we get all through this, just everybody just try to stay safe as you can. Try to get outdoors, get some fresh air. And as always, hotty toddy and God bless.